Psychology says that if you have suddenly become the villain in his story, you are often misunderstood, not toxic, not crazy, and definitely not broken. In many cases, your mind has simply evolved to a frequency where manipulation no longer penetrates, making his old games feel draining, shallow, or simply beneath you. If you have been labeled difficult or cold after years of giving everything, there are 7 rare, high-value traits awakening within you right now. In this video, we will dive into the profound, protective, and transformative insights from dark psychology, drawing from lessons I cherished from my own ascent, to help you see that being his villain might just be the hero's journey you were waiting for. The first rare trait is a biological rejection of performance. If you have become the villain in his eyes, it is likely because you have developed a zero-tolerance policy for inauthenticity. In the past, when he would offer a performative apology, complete with dramatic tears or the perfect words designed to tug at your heartstrings, you would melt. You would rush to comfort him for hurting you. But now, something has shifted deep within your physiology. You watch the performance, and instead of empathy, you feel a cold, clinical detachment. This is not cruelty. This is clarity. Research in dark psychology suggests that as we heal from long-term emotional manipulation, our tolerance for inauthentic behavior drops dramatically. Your brain has learned to detect the micro-discrepancies between his words and his energy. You would rather sit in total silence than endure a conversation that feels scripted. He calls you unfeeling because his usual emotional hooks no longer catch on your skin. You are not unfeeling. You are just no longer an audience member for his bad acting. You have stopped clapping for a play that you know is a lie. This connects deeply to the second trait, which is a preference for resolution over regulation. He calls you difficult or argumentative, but the truth is, you have stopped accepting shallow peace. People who are comfortable in toxic dynamics love the concept of sweeping things under the rug to keep the peace. You used to be the one holding the broom, but now you have a rare trait called conflict endurance for the sake of truth. You are no longer interested in the "how was your day" small talk if the elephant in the room is still smashing the furniture. If a topic has no depth and no resolution, you are not engaging. You want to talk about the root cause, the pattern, the change. He hates this. He calls it dwelling on the past. Psychology calls it breaking the cycle. You are willing to be the bad guy who ruins the mood because you value the integrity of the relationship more than the illusion of it. You are not destroying the peace. You are exposing the war that was already happening in the shadows. The third trait explains your sudden need for distance. Your brain now requires a metabolic recovery time after interacting with him. This is often why he labels you as distant, cold, or withdrawing. In the past, you could spend days entangled in his chaos, running on adrenaline. Now, a mere hour in his presence might leave you feeling physically heavy, as if gravity has doubled. This is known as high social sensitivity in the context of recovery. Your nervous system is no longer numb to the toxicity, it is allergic to it. After interacting with him, you need complete solitude to recalibrate. You are not antisocial. You are conserving a limited resource. Every conversation with a manipulator costs you something. You process his tone, his hidden meanings, and his passive-aggressive jabs on multiple levels. Your silence is not a punishment for him. It is a medicine for you. You have learned that your peace is a battery, and he is a device that no longer fits the charger. The fourth trait is perhaps the most threatening to him. You have achieved independence from his validation. Many people stay in the role of the victim or the pleaser because they rely on the partner to tell them they are good, worthy, or lovable. Research shows that this low social dependency is a hallmark of high-value autonomy. You have started to source your self-esteem from your own actions, not his reactions. When he calls you selfish, it does not crush you like it used to because you know you are simply being self-protective. When he withholds affection to punish you, You do not starve. You feed yourself. This makes you seem arrogant to him. He cannot manipulate a woman who does not need him to feel whole. You have built a fortress where his opinion is just noise outside the walls, not the command center inside. As dark wisdom often reminded us, the moment you stop needing their applause is the moment they lose their power to boo you off the stage. You are playing to your own audience of one. The fifth trait is what he calls paranoia, but what you know is pattern recognition. Past experiences have taught you to think twice, 3 times, 4 times before trusting his sudden changes. If you have been burned by the cycle of idealization and devaluation, your brain has developed a protective skepticism. He brings you flowers, and instead of smelling the roses, you look for the thorns. He promises change, and you look for the catch. He calls this being unable to move on or holding grudges. In reality, this is the activation of a trust threshold. You have raised the bar. You observe longer. You test before you trust. You are not bitter. You are scientific. You are collecting data. You have realized that words are cheap and consistency is the only currency you accept. This trait protects you from falling into the same hole twice. You are not blocking love. You are vetting it. The sixth trait is the mastery of strategic silence. In the past, when he provoked you, you would launch into long explanations, defending your character, writing paragraphs of text, trying to make him understand. You were over-explaining your existence. Now you have the rare ability to say nothing. When he accuses you of being the villain, you do not argue. You simply say, "Okay," or you say nothing at all. This silence is terrifying to a manipulator because it gives them nothing to work with. It is a mirror. When you do not absorb his projection, it bounces back to him. He calls you passive-aggressive or stonewalling. But you know the truth. You are practicing the art of non-engagement. You have realized that your energy is too expensive to spend on debates that are designed to be lost. You save your words for people who can hear them. This silence is not empty. It is full of your power. The seventh and final trait is the mirror effect. You have started to treat him exactly the way he treats you, and he calls it abuse. This is the ultimate sign that you are the villain in his story. You are simply returning the energy you receive. If he is inconsistent, you become unavailable. If he is critical, you become indifferent. If he ignores your needs, you stop anticipating his. You are not doing this out of revenge, you are doing it out of reciprocity. You have stopped overcompensating for his lack. You have stopped rowing the boat for 2 people. When you stop rowing, the boat stops moving, and he blames you for the stillness. But this stillness is the truth. You are showing him exactly what the relationship looks like without your constant sacrifice. You are letting the natural consequences of his behavior fall on him, and that feels like an attack to someone who is used to you carrying the weight. Here is what this means for you. If you identify with these 7 traits, realize that the narrative of being the villain is a manipulation tactic designed to shame you back into submission. But it is failing. You are not broken. You are waking up. You have evolved from a host into a fortress. The pain you feel, the guilt he tries to place on you, is simply the friction of your old self shedding its skin. I remember a moment in my own journey, standing in a kitchen that felt like a courtroom, being accused of having no heart because I finally refused to let it be eaten. The air was thick with the smell of stale coffee and sharp accusations. I looked at the person screaming at me, and for the first time, I didn't see a partner. I saw a child throwing a tantrum because the toy stopped working. And in that moment, the fear vanished. I realized that if protecting my soul made me a villain in a toxic story, then I would gladly wear that black cape. Think about the sensory reality of your growth. Remember the first time you didn't reply to that baiting text message. The phone buzzed on the table, vibrating against the wood, a sound that used to trigger a rush of anxiety in your chest. But that time, you just looked at it. You took a sip of your tea, the warmth spreading through your hands, grounding you. You felt the urge to defend yourself rise up, hot and familiar, and then you felt it cool down, replaced by a steel spine of indifference. That moment was not you being cold. That was you being free. The silence in the room wasn't lonely. It was spacious. It was the first breath of air you had taken in years that belonged entirely to you. Do not let them convince you that your standards are flaws. Do not let them diagnose your boundaries as symptoms of an illness. Dark psychology has always whispered that the sheep who grows wolf's teeth will always be called a monster by the flock she refuses to follow. But you are not a monster. You are a woman who has survived. You have walked through the fire of people-pleasing and come out the other side forged in steel. You possess rare traits now. Traits of discernment, of self-possession, of unshakable worth. These are high-value assets in a world that tries to strip women of their power. If this message resonates with your spirit, if you feel that awakening of the so-called villain inside you, I want you to embrace it. Wear it like armor. If this video spoke to you directly, write in the comments simply, "I am the protector of my peace." Let that be your declaration. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of dark psychology's profound wisdom. Apply these insights to your own path. Subscribe for more transformative content like If This Inspired You, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay strong, my sister. Your ascent has only just begun.